What's up everyone, this is Ryan here. Today I'm going to do a talking video on the Craftsman Compact Boat in the Fall Cleanup Edition. Now, it will get used again this year for 2025 Fall Cleanup season. And you can see how much we spending on this machine exactly. But this thing is getting used almost every day because you see how much this thing goes. I know the 4.5 and the 6.5 plug that you use and use and use and then it dies on you. And you see the small, this is a CMCB 100 and what I do like about this machine, because you see how much it's better this thing exactly, which is definitely looks something that's my opinion, which you know how much it's better this thing exactly. But here's the thing exactly, because you know how it's better this thing exactly is going to get used almost right this year again, because I mean this thing got used last year, so I know since how much it's better this thing you see, because you know how it's better this thing exactly, which is definitely looks something that's my opinion. So you know how it's better this thing will get used again this year, because I mean here's the thing exactly, because this boy is exactly, because I do like this thing a lot, because you see how much it's better this thing exactly, which is it's definitely what it is on this machine exactly, which is definitely how much it's better this thing exactly. But here's the thing exactly, because the 6 amp battery you can see, because definitely how much it's better this thing exactly you see, because you see how much it's better this thing exactly, which is it's definitely how much it's better this thing exactly, which is not that bad in my opinion, but you see how much it's better this thing exactly you see, because you don't know how it's better this thing exactly, which is well, I don't know how to say this like you see, because you know how it's better this thing exactly, which is definitely looks pretty nice in my opinion. But although this machine is going to get used almost quite a bit this year, because you know how it's better this thing exactly, which is definitely looks pretty nice in my opinion. But you know, I mean, you can tell this thing is going to get used this year. And I know since how much it's better this thing is going to get used again this year, because I mean, look at this thing. I mean, you can see how this is better this thing is actually see how it definitely looks pretty nice in my opinion. So it definitely will get used again this year. And what I expected this thing will get used again this year, because I mean, look at this thing. I mean, you can see how much it's better this thing is because you know how it's better this thing exactly, which is definitely looks pretty much what it's better this machine exactly, which is definitely how much it's better this thing exactly, which I do like this thing a lot, because you know how it's better this thing exactly, just get used this, you know. I mean, you know how it's better this thing exactly, which I'm pretty sure this thing will get used again this year, because you know how it's better this thing exactly, which is definitely looks pretty nice in my opinion. But you know how much it's better this thing. See how it's better this thing exactly, which I'm pretty sure this thing will get used again this year, because you know how it's better this thing exactly, which if you ever decide to get this thing exactly, I do recommend it, you see, because you see how much it's better this thing you can see, because it's way how much it's better this thing exactly, which I'm pretty sure this thing will get used again this year, because I mean look at this thing, you can see how much it's better this thing exactly, which is dead to see, but you see how much it's better this thing will definitely will get used again in this year for 2025.